Alrighty.
Hello.
All right.
Hey Sal, could you check your text real quick?
Yeah, I saw it. We're waiting for everyone to get in. We're going to start live shortly. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
That's what I'm drinking, man. If you're already in, leave a comment and ask any type of question, and me or Sal will gladly answer.
I'm here, all set to go. My bad. It's a little late start today. Oh, we already got 391 people in. Great. We're going to have some fun topics, see if we can get the likes up.
What's up, everybody?
So this is Crypto Morning Chat. We do it every morning, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. We also do our portfolio, what's in your portfolio, every 8:30 on Sundays, as well as we do two impromptu live sessions every Thursday and Wednesday, just kind of recapping breaking news, things like that. So hey, like and subscribe. Yesterday we got 2,200 likes. Let's see if we can go for 2,500 likes on this stream, because we're going to talk about 3 hours capital, little market update, and what's going on and how to protect your crypto and making sure that you guys are getting those hard wallets to keep your money safe. So while I do that, let me get that link in the chat. If you guys want to have any questions, certainly comment. Go comment live, comment on TikTok, comment on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We are live on all platforms.
Yeah, we have some good topics today. We always talk about long-term bets in crypto, but you can't just talk about long-term bets without talking about security and where to store it.
Absolutely. So while I pull that up, Cody's been doing some research on 3 Hours Capital, what went down, how they're Crypto Joe, absolutely hard wallets. You gotta have your money on those hard wallets. Cody and I use Nano Ledgers. I also
I
use
used the Nano X. The Nano X for me was the best option, but the Ledger Stacks that's going to go for a pretty penny. But that one has a touchscreen and it has a good battery life, so that's going to be. I'm probably going to end up buying that one and just have two ledgers.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely can see the Nano Ledger, the Nano Ledger has been great because you can hold quite a bit on there, but the one that's coming out, the stacks with the screen
That's
and
going to change the game
space is definitely going to change that game there.
because Treasure and all those other hardware wallet brands, they don't have a touchscreen wallet like that. That's the size of a credit card and it has a touchscreen.
What's up with SafePal? Hey, we can answer that one too in a little bit. We can definitely check in on that one, on what's going on there. Real quick though, we're in the morning here as of right now at 8:18 a.m. Central Time. The crypto markets were at 1.126 trillion value. We got Bitcoin kind of down a little over 1%, ETH down 0.05%, kind of flat.
Bears and Bulls are fighting.
Yeah, Bears and Bulls are duking it out, which is good for us because you can trim off some profits as you go back and forth every day, every on your trades. Because you could have easily bought Bitcoin when it was at, I think it was like yesterday in the morning. No, the day before in the morning, it was below
26.6.
2,600. Yeah, and you could have sold yesterday at almost 2,800 and then made
28,000.
on that. So we got XRP holding steady at 46 cents. Kind of had a 8% rally on the week, but now it's kind of trading a little flat. As I said like I said yesterday, I expected to go down. I also have a I also have excuse me. I also have put a big purchase the other day. If you've been following me on Twitter, I post when I buy. I also made some pretty big buys yesterday in Quant and Dot. Um, and Dot is now at 535, which is still a good price, although I'm anticipating it over the weekend to drop down to 4. So with
For
that,
like late fours.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be
That
4.
that
I'm like 450. I'm thinking 450 on that price.
I'm honestly thinking a little bit higher. I'm honestly thinking low fives, 495 at the lowest.
Okay. Okay, and we still have Chainlink, which right now is down 2.26%. So I'm waiting to see if it gets under $6. Like we said, we're watching it. I may put a big buy order in on Chainlink on Sunday, depending on how the charts go. We'll
Yeah,
have
and keep in mind he put a big buy order in for quant as well. He bought like 93 quant. So we're actually buying, we're not just actively talking about it. I'm making big buys on quant next month as well. I'm not a financial advisor and I know everybody says that, but next month I'm adding in $2,000 in the quant, adding to my quant holdings, and I should be almost at about 40. And my goal by the end of this year is to be where he's at about 100.
hmm and that's where you that's good. It's a good start over everything, and we're going to keep going and keep growing on there. Uh, we're going to keep growing our wallets on these things. As I keep saying, just keep dollar cost averaging in, but don't be afraid to take profits when you want to take profits, because we if you see it and you want to cash out some money, definitely cash out some money. Even though I'm pretty long on quant, I still cash out pretty much profit. So if the charts tell me cash out half my quant, I will cash out half my quant without hesitation. So let me while I do that, let me pull up 3 hours capital here. I think that's what you wanted to talk about today, Cody.
Yeah, that it's a crypto hedge fund that's going down.
hmm Yeah, can you put that link to the article in the chat there? I can't seem to get it from my phone off of it. But yeah, let's see here. All right,
It's in there.
there we go. Let's go open that to a new tab. All right, let me just go ahead and get everything set up here real quick. Didn't have my login for Wall Street Journal. But hey, if you guys have any questions regarding investments, crypto, crypto stocks, real estate, business questions, I'm more than happy to help and assist, as well as Cody. We are certainly more than happy to assist you with any of those questions here.
Oh yeah. We're all learning along the way too. When people leave comments, we learn from comments too.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. Well, it's taking its time to pull up. Let me go to news here. See if I can pull up a. So
I don't
go.
know why it's not pulling up.
Yeah. While I get that to pull up there, Cody, go over what you wanted to talk about. 3 hours capital. There we go.
Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Oh yeah, yeah, I can hear
So
you.
apparently, the biggest players, in that hedge fund or whatever is Suzhu, Suzhu, and Kyle Davies.
Okay.
Those are the creators of it. So it's pretty much a an Asian guy and a white guy that started it, and they're crashing down.
Okay, because when did they officially collapse? It was early last year, 2022, right? That was the first sign of it.
Yeah, that's the first sign of it.
'Cause I remember that was the first. I think that was the first domino on there.
There, there. It was reported that they originally were telling their friends that they were shopping for $150 million vessel, a super yacht.
Uh,
Yeah, that crypto hedge fund. They were bragging about shopping for a big old super yacht.
man, they were riding that euphoria high,
Yeah,
ridiculously high.
$150 million. I think somebody in the Walton family in Walmart. They bought a big yacht recently too.
Oh yeah, I think I managed to get this. Go skipping complete membership. Okay, here we go. I'm almost got the article pulled up, guys.
They're gonna be like, "Yeah, guys, we gonna buy a big old super yacht with this money." I mean, I don't know why. If you're a crypto hedge fund or any type of hedge fund, I don't know why you'd be telling people what you're buying. Like at
Yeah.
least that type of stuff. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy a jet. I mean, unless that jet's gonna produce money for a business, or do something. And if it's personal use, and like, I don't see what's the point of that.
All right, here we go. Got it up. All righty. All right, so okay, I guess this is updated. Yeah. Okay. So they were trying to stage a comeback. Hey, if you guys could like and subscribe, follow us on Twitter and YouTube. We are, and also Twitch too, and we're also live on Facebook. Follow us there in those locations as well. But hey, let's try to get the likes up. See how.
Oh, they're the founders of Open Exchange. I didn't know
Mhm.
that.
Okay, so here we go. They founded Open Exchange. The failure of 3 hours capital cost investors billions of dollars, fueled panic in crypto's event in markets, worsened a slide in prices, led to direct losses of other firms. Crypto firms Voyager Capital and Genesis Global Trading both filed for bankruptcy in part because they had extended loans to the fund. So basically, they just kind of started the downturn of the crypto cycle, imploding the freaking market.
Yeah.
So this was kind of starting. This was weren't they one of the ones offering like 20% returns for people putting their crypto with them?
I think so. Yeah, they were offering like 20% returns.
Okay, so Open Exchange chief executive officer CEO, if the crypto world damned failures and said anyone who fails isn't able to have a second opportunity to build a business, I don't think we would have many of the successful businesses we have today. So that's basically his comment about his about trying to restart the business, but I don't think it's going well.
What
Just
what what led to its downturn? Or were they like insolvent? Did they not have? Were they bad on
well,
financials? Or
they from what I remember from what I remember from years from 2022 is that they over bet on Bitcoin, like they overlonged Bitcoin, and then when Bitcoin when Bitcoin dropped, like it dropped from like high 50s to 40s,
Yeah,
and then
because
they got liquidated out. That's
in the
what
beginning of that 2022 phase, in the beginning of the year, there was still a tiny glimpse of hope of, oh, 100K, and people were still not over the euphoria from late 2021. It
Yep,
takes a while for that euphoria to go away, and I don't mean like a few months, I mean like a year. It took all
yeah,
the way up until FTX, the end of 2022 for that euphoria to go away.
yeah. And keep in mind the crypto market at that point just kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. So it was it's just like this kind of set it off. If they never got had that issue, then I don't think it would have, because like it was a compounding effect. We had we had 3 Hours Capital get liquidated out. Then they couldn't pay back huge loans to Voyager Capital, and then and then Voyager Capital couldn't get capitalization from FTX, and it just kind of cascaded down. But I
Is
think
Voyager
all of a
gone?
sudden,
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting, but is Voyager gone completely?
I think it's in chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah, this is completely random and off topic a little bit, but BitBoy, I remember. I mean, I don't watch BitBoy. I don't like him at all, and I'm not promoting him at all. By the way, I'm just talking about him. I remember he used to be big on Polkadot, and he used to say it in the last bull run, like I moved $400,000 of my Bitcoin to Polkadot, and I guess he had all that Polkadot and Voyager, and when Voyager went through all that, I guess he lost so much money on Dot because of that he just doesn't talk about it. Like, especially after Gavin stepped down and went into developer mode, like he
Yeah.
hasn't talked about it. It's funny.
Yeah, well, what you guys remember, and it's shout out to BitBoy. We don't, but he doesn't talk about his losses. He only talks really about his big wins. So, and that
Yeah, I
is a
think
big loss and a big important loss to talk about. How the dangers of leaving your crypto on these exchanges or funds. But Voyager was offering some degenerate amount of something like five, like what was it? It was like 25% something, like up to that, like staking, and just people were just piling into it, and then it just went poof. And then it came back and was coming. It was in originally chapter 7, reorganization in well, Parker, if you don't know what that is, you got a problem, because I sorry, American school system failed you. You got to go back.
what is it? What does he not know?
All right, Parker, I'm going to shout to you. What country is Europe in? So I feel bad for us Americans if you're out there. It's terrible. So you're going to have to pull up a map and figure that one out on your own, buddy.
Some of them could probably be trolls.
Yep. We'll show you back. You just got, if you're probably down here in the South, hey, I feel for you. Your education really stopped at second grade down here. So, but we're going to keep going on. Uh, we're gonna keep going on. So what really kind of happened there is we set off with Voyager Capital just made some pretty big bets, and then they couldn't cover their loans. So what was happening is they were kind of behaving like banks, but without a central bank to kind of back everybody. So everybody was kind of lending money to each other in hopes of big returns, and then the money then they had these big bets on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin didn't go. I think people were saying 200,000, 300,000, up to a million on the price of Bitcoin in 2021 and early 2022, and then it went backwards. It went to 42,000, and then everything just kind of started unraveling there. So a lot of people unfortunately got their money tied up into here, and because of the way they worded their quote unquote wallets in Voyager, Celsius, and 3 Hours Capital, it just, once that money's in there, it's theirs. It's not yours anymore. So that's where you guys got to be careful, and always put your stuff on a hard wallet, because You got it's like that's the safest way, and I think Nano Ledger actually is good, is probably one of the best ones out there. I want to also say one thing: make sure it's the wallet itself is generating your seed phrase, not the company that made it, because then they have access to your wallet if that's the if they made it for you. Don't ever do that. Make sure it's generated by the wallet itself.
Yes, exactly. It can't be some random wallet on the internet that you find that it's gonna steal all your stuff, pull a Robin Hood.
Hmm. So it's like, but these guys, unfortunately, they're. I know people were talking about having these guys running these companies get involved in, not get involved, get prosecuted, but unfortunately, degenerate trading isn't illegal. It's just rather stupid. So, and that's basically what happened here. Now, what happened with FTX and how FTX went down, that is an actual fraud. However, that's not systemic to crypto. That is really just systemic to the financial industry as a whole. And the way it was run was kind of very similar to those boiler room trading firms back in the late 80s, early 90s, where they just they artificially pumped stocks to get their money and dump it on their clients, and so their clients would then lose the value because there was no actual value or trading in there in that company. So that's kind of what he did with their own FTX token. They artificially pumped it up and then got a loan from the bank. Now, my opinion, I'm full on capitalist. If the bank gave money and they lost it, the bank should go down. I don't think the bank should get their money back. You didn't do your due diligence, you should fall. You didn't do business
You
right, you
know,
fall down.
here's the thing about SBF. I don't know if you know this about Sam Bankman-Fried, but before FTX, way before FTX, and on his come up, he would buy Bitcoin on these weird exchanges and sell them on another exchange to where he could sell the Bitcoin. Every Bitcoin that he bought, he could sell it for tons of higher. That's how
Hmm.
he got his wealth. He would buy Bitcoin on one exchange and sell it for higher on another exchange. I'm not talking about just day trading. I mean, like, he found a way to make like a massive return on, every Bitcoin he bought.
Hmm. This was the yeah, because right now FTX clawing back 240 million from a embedded deal. Yeah. Well, that's also the thing. A lot of the funds regarding this, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised no one's even really protesting like they
I,
did back in 2008 with this guy.
I'm sure he wanted to be famous. He wanted to be known as this person.
I think he was trying. Me personally, I really think he just watched the Madoff documentary and then just said, "I can do that with crypto." I think that's exactly what happened,
Yeah.
and he just thought he could do it better and not get caught. And unfortunately, the market's too volatile, so it just kind of it pushed that it pushed him right out and exposed everything. But what happened was that it's his ex girlfriend and the other guy, the Asian guy, basically went to the Fed and said, "Hey, here's everything. Here's all the things. I'm giving you the tell all book. I want a lightened sentence because I think she's getting like 1 year and like 10 years probation. The other guy's getting like 5 years. So I'm pretty sure SBF is probably going to get 40 to 50 years, if not like a.
Isn't he doing house arrest though?
Yes, he is still under house arrest, as far as I know right now.
Do you mean he's going to stay in house arrest for that long, or is he going to go
Oh
back
no,
to like federal prison?
he's going to go to a federal prison and get and serve a life sentence because he imploded so many people's crypto. But here's the thing though. So now all their earnings, all that stuff is kind of locked up right now. By the time this court case gets resolved, the bankruptcy case gets resolved, the lawsuits get resolved against him. by the time all that money gets released, it probably will be during the bull run. So everybody will have made a quite a get their money back, hopefully at least, if the value gets high enough.
Oh
But
yeah, that would be that's probably what they're planning on. Who knows?
but here's where I think all the influencers that were promoting FTX, the government is allowed to claw back up to 7 years of that because it's considered ill-gotten gains. And what that means is you can't, even if it's a salary, you can't pay someone's salary, income, licensing fees, properties, or anything else with what is considered ill-gotten gains. So with that being said, they will claw back. Now, usually the federal prosecutor does not claw back, like if you have programmers, accountants, things like that, they won't take back their earned income. But for the influencers who got paid, some of them are getting paid like $1 million a month or like $12 million a month. That money's gonna get clawed back. They're like,
So
you're
you
gonna have
think
to pay that back.
Graham Stephan was one of those YouTubers, right?
Yep. And I think that's
So
part of
he's
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
he's very much likely to disappear.
Yes. He is going to he's probably I don't think he's gonna disappear because his YouTube channel has a good following and a significant amount of revenue. So he's going to have to sell his properties, some of his properties to cover it. I don't think he got paid as much as some others, but he did get paid a lot. And I think it's part of the reason why they shut down the Millennial Money channels because they got wrapped up in that. But that's the dangerous thing because it's like it's technically not earned income. You were paid to promote, but it's kind of like toting that fine line, and it gets very hard. But when it comes to a fraud like this, a clawback a clawback is pretty rough. Like it's very hard to fight a clawback. Let's see here. 'Cause I think
Who was one of the most major promoters of FTX?
oh, I
Wasn't it
think it was what's his
Kevin O'Leary?
Kevin O'Leary. I think he got paid the highest next to
So what's
Mark.
gonna happen to him? I mean, people say he was involved with like a boating something, killing someone. I don't know the whole facts and all that. I just know the headline. But he was involved in some shady shit for a while too.
Yeah, the bag gets pretty deep on this case because it's very hard to it's like the more you keep digging on the FTX case, the more that keeps coming out about it, and
It's
it's
just an
hard to
endless
stick it
rabbit
in.
hole.
Yeah, it's an endless rabbit hole, but we can't say anything for sure yet because no one's been accused of anything. No one's really been doing. So you just kind of have to wait until the federal prosecutors bring it up. That's all you can do. But what I can say is that like I had my personally I have some money in BlockFi, which is why after that incident with BlockFi and everything, I just switched to a hard wallet.
I don't
After
understand how SBF thought he could get by with that though.
um I
I
think
can't.
he's betting on all the political connections he made, but that's also the thing. The political, the politicians that he basically paid, and he paid on both sides, both Democrats and Republicans, are going to have to give that money back too. It was something like, I think it was something like 800 million worth of political donations he made as they kept digging and digging through it. Like he made more than what was even legally allowed to. So there definitely was a nefarious plan, but we won't know until the actual court really starts and they start doing the witness testimony and they bring in his ex-girlfriend, the Asian guy, his former employees for us to really see what's going on.
It's crazy. I hate when this happens. I was going to ask something, but I forgot. You were talking about FTX, and what were you just saying about? Oh, how they could I still can't remember. Anyway.
Well, there are the companies around it are going to get like BlockFi and Voyager are going to get liquidated out by the government. That's basically what's happening. They're in chapter 11 and
Oh, I
liquidation.
remember.
So they're just gonna X those out to get the money back.
So how the hell are those parties that political parties that he donated to? Are they even going to be have the funds to pay that back?
Yeah, they do. I mean, the Democrat Party and the Republican Party have huge endowments in for their party, so they can pay it. They can pay it back. But the thing is though, it's not really the Democratic Party that's got to pay it back. It's the individual politician that has to pay it back. That's the hard part.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I think he was trying to buy his way out just in case this scenario happened.
And it
But
did, and
but
he's losing his life.
the strong evidence against him is that according to his cohorts that are talking to the FBI and all the agents involved in this, said that he orchestrated the whole collapse. he
He orchestrated it.
Yeah, because he had backdoor capabilities to BlockFi, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, his own hedge fund, FTX, and also all the companies he would buy. He had backdoor access to, so he was able to make these huge swings in Bitcoin, drop it down, so someone would go bankrupt. Like there's there's rumor evidence that he was involved in the Luna collapse.
Oh, no doubt.
So it's like that's where we said the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper, and it's like, man, were we ever going to find the real truth? Because every time you think you found the end, there's another little caveat that pops up, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? How
Let
is
the
this connected to everything?
let the fox in the hen house.
Yep. And but the main thing that he's going to be held accountable for is everything else is just kind of speculation. But the main thing is that he was spending client or user funds, and you cannot spend user funds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you just can't do that, and that happens. That's just universal in the space in the financial world. You can't use client funds to do other investments. Their funds are their funds, and they have to be separated from the company's accounts. They have to have a main account that has everything with it.
And it's crazy because before all this collapse, everybody called, even years ago, people called SBF like a big figure, in crypto and all that,
Hmm.
People called
Yeah.
SBF like a smart person, and it's crazy.
Yep. And it's it's crazy because there's going to be two counts on it. There's going to be the one of theft of client funds that he's going to get charged for, of course, wire fraud and all of that stuff. But he might actually get pulled up on RICO charges too
Rico charges for what?
for racketeering, trying to control and monopolize the industry, plus paying off people, because a lot of the money went to paying other people's pockets. That's where a lot of money went, and
Yeah.
then outside of all the degenerate things they were doing, because and keep in mind, if someone's talking about doing hardcore drugs uh, while they're working and trading your money, that's probably not a place you want to put your money.
SBF was doing hardcore drugs.
Like they weren't doing like the traditional like heroin and cocaine, but they were doing what were they were doing? They were doing like methamphetamines, psychedelics, things like that. It's like you can't possibly tell me that you're running a legitimate business. But you see, in the beginning, when the money was good, everybody was like, "Oh, it's quirky." They're into a little, uh, into a little pot, a little psychedelic drugs, mushrooms and stuff. But then all of a sudden, they find out they get down there, and it's just really a degenerate cesspool of drugs and orgies, and that's what they're spending their money on. And all of a sudden, it's like the veil goes back. It's kind of like that guy that did WeWork. He walked around barefoot, was kind of a little had a chip on his shoulder, and liked to smoke pot. In the beginning, when Rework was making money and popular, he was, oh, it's a nice quirk. Look at him. He's doing things differently. But then when Rework was collapsing, he was they were honing down on his, not dressing professionally, working, you know, smoking pot in the office, things like that, drinking on the job. So all of a sudden, those things became a problem. So that goes to show you, when people think the money is right, you can get away with the world. But when the money's not right and people are losing money, then all of a sudden, it's a problem, and
Yeah, he
everything
knew
that you
that.
do is a problem. So that goes to show you how people's perceptions change, even the banks. But these banks should not be. It should be the clients that get taken care of first, not the lenders and banks, because you lent money to this guy without doing due diligence. Any due diligence, you could tell all the loans had no due diligence, no nothing involved with them. That's your own damn fault. Collapse. That's my opinion. That is my sole opinion. That's not really saying that should be the outcome, but that's just my opinion. If it is the outcome, then hey, it's the outcome. But that's that I just don't think they should be rewarded for making this huge mistake. And everyone else who had their money on FTX, you know, you're only
They're
getting pennies
punished.
on the dollar. So, but sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Oh no, I had really nothing to say to that. I'm just listening to you because there's a lot of digging I didn't do on this either on FTX, and it's been a while.
Yeah. Only thing is that right now he's just awaiting his trial. He's out on bail under house arrest. But
I
just
don't know how
just
he's able to live with himself.
um to be honest, I don't think he really cared. I don't think he cared from the beginning. But what I'm kind of waiting for is, what was the deal of Ginsler and Sam Bankman Fried meeting up every weekend, like having private meetings?
Having a
That's
few drinks.
Yep, that is the caveat I want to know. I want us to crack open that egg and see
That's
what's in there.
they America wants to talk about protecting investors and all of us. Why don't they crack down on that then?
Hmm.
That's the big bang question.
But also keep in mind, guys, this isn't the main thing, because like a lot of people talk down on the crypto world. But keep in mind, there was like 8 Ponzi schemes in the stock market arena that got brought to light because of the falling stock prices. So just keep that in mind. There was a lot of scams. It just wasn't in crypto that went on during the lockdowns and the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, there's scams in every industry.
So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind there. I mean, there's really not much else to say, but my main point with, going over all of these is that, you just be careful. We all lose money, and I lost money in BlockFi. I got about, well, it was a good amount, because it's just like 1.1 Bitcoin in BlockFi, and it's
You lost 1.1 Bitcoin.
yep, it's in BlockFi, about $30,000 just sitting there.
Uh,
So I'm not, and keep in mind, I'm never getting that money back. Probably, if I get it back, I'm probably getting like 5,000 of it back. Like that's a loss.
why would
That's
you only get 5,000 of it back?
because there's probably not going to be a lot of money left. So when the money gets returned to you, you're basically also got to pay lawyer fees, the court fees, all that stuff. Because this is why that's part of the reason why class action lawsuits can be bad is that you're how can I put this? You get those fees get taken out of the pot, and then the pot gets equally distributed. So if it's even if one person only had like $1,000 and one person had 1 million, they all just get paid equally out of the pot. That's it.
Yeah.
And when they pay back, they just pay back until. So let's just say they just keep getting money, like the Lehman Brothers case, right? People actually made money on that because by the time the bankruptcy went through, the assets have gained value, but at the same time, everybody that had money, they just paid equally, and then once they got their money back, they stopped getting payments, and then the remaining people get paid equally, and it just keeps going. That's how they pay people back.
Oh.
So I will probably never get my full amount, but there's also people in there that had like $400,000 of ETH in there that they lost. So
Oh my goodness.
I
That's
think it
why
was.
I'm glad I've never messed with any of those. I'm so glad.
Yeah, you got yours off the exchange a long time ago.
Yep, late 2021. Well, no, I always had it off the exchange. Before I had a Ledger, I had Exodus Wallet, which is a digital wallet.
Hmm. And keep in mind, guys, the crypto industry, because the retail investors are slowly coming out of it. They're probably going to funnel back in 2024, like right around the Bitcoin halving, like really funnel in. But a lot of the retail investors are out, so a lot of these exchanges and brokerages aren't making the same fees that they used to. So they're doing record number of layoffs on everything.
Yeah, that's what's been happening with Coinbase.
Hmm. Like Coinbase has just been going, but keep in mind Coinbase is still going to be around. But I think what people forget is they plan for like infinite growth. So they thought we were just going to have a bigger bull market, keep going. So they hired more people than they actually needed. What's going to happen is these companies are going to get very lean over the next few years.
Like they're pretty
So,
much not going to make the same mistakes.
yep. They're not going to make the same mistakes. They're going to get very lean. They're going to learn to work with less. But you also got to remember AI came about too. So a lot of the menial jobs, because like the secretary jobs, the some basic coding jobs, a lot of simple things are going to be taken over by AI. So those jobs will kind of fall to the wayside. So they're only going to keep their best and most experienced individuals. Well, shout out to Robert Sands, 968. I can't sell my shares through Coinbase. Um, Coinbase is not an official stock broker, so it is. I don't think it's connected to the stock exchange. They just handle crypto, from what I understand.
Yeah, unless you're talking about Bitcoin or ETH or something.
Yeah, let me just pull up Coinbase here real quick. 'Cause they don't. I think they only handle crypto.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
What?
they only do crypto. So if you got shares of Coinbase, it has to be done through the brokerage firm. Oh, yes, I have. You have your okay. You have your Bitcoin there with them. Okay. The best thing I could say is get yourself a hard wallet, get set that up, and then transfer it to that address. They might not be allow you to sell so much volume of it at once, but you should be able to transfer it
Wait,
out.
is he saying he can't sell on Coinbase like his Bitcoin?
Yes, he's saying you can't sell his Bitcoin on there.
Like, is he? Does he have like a substantial amount, and he's trying to sell at once or something?
I think so. And you don't and Robert Sands, you don't have to say how much Bitcoin you have on there. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot. Okay, then that makes sense now because most of these firms, like I ran into, I bought like 20,000 of Quant, and I was going to try and buy another $10,000 of Dot, and I couldn't because I had maxed out my I
So
get the
here's
amount of money I could transfer in and out
so
on.
here's my question. Let's say Quant goes to $1,000, and I have 100 of them, right? And I
Mhm.
want to sell the $100,000, all of it, $100,000 worth of Quant on Coinbase. You think I'd have issues doing that?
Yes, because I think especially when markets get hard to get terrible like it is right now with the Bears versus Bulls. They're trying because the more money that keeps fleeing out, the more redemptions they have to pay. So they're trying to curb redemptions by capping the amount of dollar amount that's going in and out.
So
If
what would be probably the most you'd be able to sell out of all that?
I know like Uphold, I have a $20,000 limit on cash going in and out.
Well, on Coinbase, I have a 5,000 going in, but it doesn't say anything about going out.
Yeah, you'll see it when they're not really going to pay attention to like 5 or 6,000, but if you're trying to transfer out 100,000 would be hard. To answer your question, Robert Sands, which wallet you should get, I would recommend either the Arculus wallet or the Nano Ledger wallet. Now we're not paid promoters of those. We just
No.
use those and are happy with those. Those are probably the best wallets I've used. I tried the others; they're a little too gimmicky. I don't trust it. It's just weird. I remember the
People talk
first
about.
one I
Oh,
got.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. My first wallet I got, it didn't set the seed up. The company already had the seed made, so I was like, nah, I won't mess with that. So I just considered that $100 loss. So
What wallet was it?
I can't remember. It was like right when I was just one of the hard wallets that popped up on the ad, and I bought it, and then I realized like the seed was already generated. So I was like, I
Yeah, that's yeah. But no, I've had my Ledger Nano X since November 2021, and like I
Mhm,
said before that, I was using Exodus. Exodus was a beautiful app. It's perfectly laid out, but
mhm.
Ledger, it's updated over time. I stake my Polkadot and my Atom on there. It's easy. I've never had an issue with it at all. It comes with a little cool keychain too, but and it comes with a charger. You write down your phrase. You never store your phrase on your notes app. You never store it on a computer. You write it
Yeah.
down,
Yep.
or you memorize it. If you're good at that. Me personally, I don't have time to sit there and study my key phrase like that.
Okay. So Robert Change, you saying that I was only able to sell only 53K limits. Okay. Yep. Yeah. They put a cap on you to slow down your redemption.
So he said
That's what it was.
53K.
Yeah. He was only able to sell 53K. So there was a cap on the redemption. So they're because what they do is they're doing fractional reserves, so they don't have everyone's. If 100% of people were to cash out, they wouldn't be able to do it. So they're capping the redemption, so you can only withdraw so much, and they're kind of hoping that people are buying just as much, so they can collect fees, get everything in, and then give you your Bitcoin or give you your cash. If I hope I've answered that for you, but as if you didn't hear Robert Sands, Cody definitely recommends that you should get a hard wallet for that. Because then if you can't sell on an exchange, then you can sell on another one. Is your money safe on Coinbase? Um, yes and no. They haven't had any problems. No one's hacking in. But if anything should happen to Coinbase, that Bitcoin is technically not yours. It's in a was it a custody wallet. So they have custody of your Bitcoin, and it would take forever for it to get sorted out if heaven forbid Coinbase should collapse or do something like that. But I recommend everybody always get a hard wallet. Put your on the hard wallet because if you can't sell it off on one exchange, you could sell it on another. That's how I view it. Um, so Cody, what? I oops, Cody bounced off. Cody, what are some of your thoughts there? I'm sorry, I didn't see you bounce off.
On the exchanges and all that.
Yeah, on keeping your money on exchanges.
My friend is 18 and he's obviously very young. He's younger than me. I'm
Hmm.
almost 23. But I told him, I'm like, get a hardware wallet. He said, I will. And once I have more money, I'm like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You could have $100 worth. It's still better to keep it on a ledger.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion. And I recommend that's $170. That's an investment right there. It's not,
Hmm.
something you're spending necessarily. It's something to secure your stuff.
Absolutely. Now, Cody and I do use Coinbase to make our buys for some things, like Chainlink, Dot, Bitcoin, ETH. But I buy my ETH now off of Robinhood because I it's now transferable out. So and it's quicker, and I don't have a cap on spending on Robinhood because I'm an accredited investor. So I can spend I think up to the value of my portfolio on there as if what I wanted to transfer in and buy. I don't have any caps. I just have to sign a form recognizing the record of a large sum of money being transferred. So, but Robinhood has
That's
its problems too. So,
that's something new I learned today. I didn't know because I was thinking like you could cash out 100,000 all at once.
not on something like now. If you were cash out when like at the top of the bull market, yeah, they probably will let you cash it out. There might be like a delay on the money coming to you, but you can cash it out. But when you're trying to sell out in the bear market, they're gonna put a cap on your withdrawals. They're gonna limit your redemptions. That's just a play that every brokerage firm, every financial industry company does. So that way, they don't burn a lot of reserve cash. Now, it's different like for some small thing because like Uphold doesn't doesn't really keep it on there. They actually advertise for Nano Ledger too on there, saying make sure you get it off of there. They actually have the lowest turnaround on there. I think it's like 4 days. If you buy a large amount, then you can get it off of there. Because like I know on what was it? It wasn't Coinbase. It was another one I was using for a little bit there, but it was like 30 days before I could trade it off the exchange, take it off the exchange. So, just want to be careful which one. Make sure you really look at all the information before you go decide to use an exchange to get your crypto.
Got to. Oh yeah, I want to talk about another article too. By the way,
Yeah, which one was that one?
I'm sending it to you here.
Cool beans. All right, let's go ahead and open that up in a new tab. Share this tab instead. Okay.
This is about Ethereum.
Okay. Well, fire away there, Cody.
So pretty much it's about it needs its honest library. A standardized staking benchmark could unleash a generation of financial products that appeal to TradFi. I mean, that's true. Ethereum, if it keeps building, it's going to keep strengthening in that. Scroll
Mm-hmm.
down more.
Yeah, but just tell me when.
Oh yeah, go up from the start of the article when it starts the paragraph. Yeah,
There you go.
I just want to kind of.
So before we get going, Cody, yeah, Robinhood is a little bit better. And guys, the one good thing about Robinhood is that it's FDIC insured. So just
Yep.
keep that in mind. Up to $100,000 for you guys.
Scroll down.
Alrighty. Now, as Cody's getting ready to prepare about ETH, why I like it, I think it's going to bring some huge flow back to ETH is when they were declaring the 8% staking on there, and that's all. I do apologize. Someone commented I did not quite see it; just kind of blipped off there. So
Are you able to hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, Cody.
Okay. So basically, as a benchmark, an ETH staking rate would be similarly traditional instruments like overnight index swap rates, and a staking rate can be used to discount future cash flows. Letting investors better access the present value of their investments in the ETH ecosystem.
Okay. Oh, let me go back over here. So
It's saying a standard staking rate would form the underpinning of a new important tool for risk transfer. Interest
mhm.
among natural hedgers, especially validators and prospective speculators, will result in inevitable formation of a forward curve, resulting in swaps, futures, and other derivatives.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely making some good changes finally to it. I know that we've been waiting a long time for this, but the whole thing around the 8% staking, and that is what it for me, from my understanding, is like the 8% staking is going to help keep people from spending it as much. So it's going to start raising the price.
Yeah,
The
people are gonna want to stake it, and that's what JP Morgan didn't JP Morgan get into Ethereum like heavy,
Yes, I think $400 million.
and they're just staking all of that.
Mm-hmm. They're just
Yeah,
staking.
yeah, they're gonna make a shit ton of money over the next. And that's what makes me think that Ethereum's just this big freaking giant because you got J.P. Morgan involved too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they made that to get into it, but you got to remember also. I know 400 million sounds like a lot of money, but 400 million isn't a lot of money to J.P. Morgan. Now, when they start making like 10, $20 billion bets into the crypto industry, that's going to start really changing the pace of this, because I think they manage 2.4 trillion dollars worth of assets. I think
Yeah,
it's
400 million is nothing to J.P. Morgan. That's like like for example, how if you got like 100,000 in stocks and you wanted to try out crypto, that's like somebody just put in that area throwing 1,000 into
yeah.
crypto. Like,
Hmm. Yeah, it's not. I think it's one, barely 0.5% of what they have under management.
and that's only $400 million, and that alone is going to make bank. Ethereum 10x's that's going to turn into like 4 billion.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely a big move on their part. My thinking is that we need more banks, including smaller banks, to use crypto as capitalization tools. Now, once the regulation gets there and keeps it honed in for you guys, and hones in really the understanding of crypto, and it actually goes under the jurisdiction of either the FTC or the SEC, then big banks are going to get involved, small banks are getting involved. However, um uh in our area, Northwest Arkansas, I think it's one of the veteran credit unions are allowing their clients to buy Bitcoin and deposit into their accounts.
Really,
Hmm.
I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard of a handful of small banks starting to let people only Bitcoin though, nothing,
Yeah,
nothing really else, just Bitcoin. That's only because Bitcoin isn't controlled by anyone, so it's the most secure in value right now.
yep,
Now, what's going to change this game is, and this is just this is just my opinion is, if it does get regulation and it does get put into a category and under jurisdiction of a federal agency, it's an exchange will show up for crypto in Chicago. There'll be a booth in the commodities exchange for it,
That could
or there'll
happen.
be a booth in or there'll be a booth in the one of the stock exchanges if it goes with the SEC.
Yeah. But we got to get that clarity though, and that could take like years.
Oh yeah, it could take we're probably still 5-10 years away. You guys gotta remember this industry is only really about 12 years old, like officially set up. So it's got a long way to go before we ever really see regulation. And right now, it's not at the top of the list of what's going on in the Congress in the U.S. So I wouldn't expect to see any regulation in the U.S. anytime soon.
I feel like it's not it's under the radar, and they don't care about it up until people like you and I start making big amount of money.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
when they start caring about it.
yeah, once you start to once I'd say once it gets to like 5 trillion valuation or higher, you're probably going to start to see regulation come back. Like, okay, we gotta like cool this market down. However, for me being in the industry in the finance industry, I have a solid feeling that been it's been held down because of let me pull up because they're trying to get their cronies to get as much money as possible while the prices are low. So let me just pull up because it's like some of the insert absurd things here. I don't. Yep, here it is. I'm gonna pull it up right now. There we go. Let's see if she okay because she's trying to push this bill through to just completely ban crypto
Oh man.
and that it would and she's big on it being a money laundering tool, you know, nefarious people using it. And the thing is that I could tell you right now that crypto, since it's a technology, the basis of it is it's a technology and it's all internet based. So there's tags on everything you do. So even though it may not have your name on it, there's a record of that transaction on the blockchain somewhere, and even on the Wayback Machine on
They've
that you can
tracked
look up.
people down. The FBI has tracked people down with their Bitcoin address.
Yep. And they've actually caught drug dealers off of Silk Road because of following Bitcoin wallets. So it goes to show you how most people are like Senator Warren. She is uneducated about crypto. She has no idea what's going on, really involved in it, and she's just making a stance
She
like this.
wants to sound good to a certain group of people.
Exactly. And where she is, I think what is she? She's senator of Vermont, is it? I think it's Vermont that she's in. And keep in mind, a lot of people in that area in the Northeast are a lot of them are 50 years and up, and they're the big base of voters up there, and they have no understanding of crypto. They you talk to anyone 50 and up, and especially 65 and up, retiree, they will tell you it's scam, 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 because all they saw was everybody losing. When they started paying attention, everybody was losing money. That's when they started paying attention.
They either pay attention at the very beginning when people are making money or when people are losing money.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's so and or they could have just gotten in at the very top and they lost their money, so now they're upset. And this happens in stocks too. People get in at the top of the market, and people get in at the top of the market, and then they lose their money in the crash, and then they get upset saying stocks are a scam. I can't tell you from the 2000s, stocks are a scam, stocks are a scam, stocks are a scam, stocks are a scam, and you just kind of have to roll with it sometimes. And I guess we lost Cody there. He'll be back on a little bit. But like what Warren represents is how being uneducated about an asset class can lead you to make the wrong decision sometimes, because they're trying to ban crypto because they're saying it promotes uh, theft and money laundering and all this stuff. But
That's
really,
been said for the past over a decade.
yeah. But I can tell you right now, they don't launder money through crypto. They launder money through if if you have these criminal organizations laundering money, it's not through Bitcoin. It's not through crypto. It's going to be through the traditional ways that they've been doing it, because you can't track actual cash. So what they do is that's why event centers, laundromats, all those things. That's where they launder car washes. That's how they it goes in, and you can't really trace it, and it comes out and it's just squeaky clean. So that's how they do. You're not going to be able to do that with crypto, because I could see where you put it in and I could see where you took it out. So
Exactly. She's uneducated. She
mhm.
just wants to sound good.
Yes, it's she's doing it for a couple of good sound bites. That's basically what it is. So so that's kind of the last thing I wanted to lead off on today, was just saying, just gotta be careful about a lot of especially the people in the political spotlight. They're advocating that it's a scam without knowing what actually is involved in it. It has Crypto has an amazing potential, and it's still a baby market. Just to put it to you differently, crypto is right now at 1.1 trillion valuation. The moving industry is a $30 trillion industry. That's moving
Mm-hmm.
companies. The transportation industry is like 40 trillion. The real estate industry is like the real estate industry was it like $500 trillion. Like, so we got a crap ton of room to grow. Crap ton of room to grow. I think like the cell phone industry is like 50 trillion altogether. Like these markets have way way more way
Yeah,
higher.
you're right. They said
Mhm.
the moving industry is like number 18.
Mhm. In the world of industry. So it's like, and now keep in mind, I was saying world numbers, not like country numbers, but I mean, you consider every country around the world. Now, could you imagine? Because the only other budding industry that's coming after crypto is the space industry. And I could tell you right now, within our lifetimes, we'll be sending stuff up there to mine asteroids and stuff like that. And it's just part of human growth. And this is my personal opinion. Li- Humanity will get better when we move like cobalt mining off the planet and to like an asteroid or a desolate planet. That's how we'll make. That's when the real changes will beginning. But like that industry is like they're talk. It's only like a 500 billion dollar valuation on the space industry.
Really?
Yeah.
500 billion?
Yeah, there's not a lot of companies. There's only a handful of satellite companies, only a handful of rocket companies, and then of course you have to work directly with government agencies like NASA, the defense agency, and other countries' networks and agencies. So there's potential everywhere, but those crypto and the space industry go hand in hand, because crypto is a fast transaction of money that you can store on a hard wallet instead of having paper. So anything that you can store digitally saves on space for space exploration. And something like XRP with the XRP Ledger network, fast transactions, you can get transactions done over significant hundreds of thousands of miles with relatively ease, because remember, your signals are moving at the speed of light. So now, instead of having to wait for like the traditional way right now, banks talking to each other, that takes like 3 or 4 days. So you can imagine if you're 4 or 5 months away from the planet and you're doing that, and then all of a sudden it's going to take a year to update the ledger. Now XRP can get done in 18 minutes if you're that far out.
Yep.
So So that's where the change. That's where the true change is. It's like I know that there's a lot going on in the world right now, but if you pull that away, you really see that change coming. That is what's coming. That is what's coming in the next 50 to 100 years. And if you guys are 20, you are going to see it. You're going to see it. I'm 39. I may see it, I may not, but you guys will definitely see it. See that new economy and new market grow.
Oh yeah, I'm 22. That's why if I can build my net worth in crypto right now, I'll have capital to get into those new emerging markets and just keep creating wealth.
Hmm. So no, it's kind of a gloomy Friday here in Arkansas. I know that you guys didn't. Fridays isn't really a big day for us, although it's the last day of the news chat. So there's really not much to that we can go over about because of course this news about bankruptcies and protecting your money is boring. It's always boring. So thank you guys for those that have endured through this hour to watch everything. Like and subscribe, share us if you can. It really helps. Really helps. We love it when you guys help support us so we can help bring more information to more people. We're always happy to answer any and all questions that you may have. And of course, if we're not live, certainly go to our Facebook, Simply Investing, leave a comment there or message us there. We more than happy to answer your questions when we can. Do you got any final thoughts, Cody?
I actually enjoyed the stream. I learned a lot. I actually myself learned something from the stream.
Yeah, and we always learn from each other. It's like I do learn from Cody a lot too, especially about looking up wallets and stuff like that. I learned from you guys on getting the right questions or anything like that. And some of you guys have hard questions sometimes, and it helps me think and say, "Oh, I didn't think about it that way." But my final thoughts is just make sure you protect your wallet, always do your due diligence, and always make sure that you guys are doing your research and reading everything. Everything is important. Information and knowledge is the best thing you can have for investing in anything. The more information and knowledge you have, the better you are to make those decisions. But never invest more than you're willing to risk. With that said, guys, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We are going to be back on Sunday. I don't know if Cody will be able to join us on Sunday at 8:30, but that's
Yeah,
our.
I can because I go to work at 11.
There we go. So 4:30, or sorry, 8:30 on Sunday. We are
Yep.
doing what's in your portfolio. So that's a good time to ask if you think if you're overstacked on something, questions about investments. It's open forum. And we always try to keep our lives open forum. I put the links in the chats and in the descriptions. So, if you guys want to join in, definitely join in or just comment your questions. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll try to answer them to the best of our abilities. And like I said, we're not financial advisors, but I am a licensed broker. So I do have my Series 7 to trade, but I'm not a certified financial planner. Definitely get yourself a certified financial planner for any questions. You're trying to find out your financial path and get on a understanding of what you need to do to accomplish where you want to be, to accomplish the tasks that you need to be for where you want to be at the end of your financial journey. With that said, we will check you guys later. Thanks for watching. Always a pleasure with you guys. We'll see you Sunday.